Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamika, and here we talk about all things midlife, from self-discovery to soft living to fashion to wellness and navigating this amazing chapter of our life with confidence and with grace. Turning 50 has really changed the way I see everything. My body, my relationship, my energy, even how to define success. And honestly, there were so many things that I wish I had been told before I hit 50. Or at least I wish that I had asked someone before I hit 50. I was journaling and I started thinking about what are some of the questions I should have asked. I should have asked one of my aunts. I should have asked my mother. I have friends that had turned 50 before me. Like, what questions should I have asked them so that I could be a little bit more prepared before I turned 50? So I wanted to go through those questions that I wish that I had asked and answer them. And maybe there's someone in that same position that is about to turn 50. It could be about to turn 50 next year, about to turn 50 10 years from now, 15 years from now. But what are some of the questions that maybe you should be asking that I would answer today? So what I was thinking, instead of me just sitting here, I have my list, I typed up my list of questions. Instead of me sitting here and answer these questions, I thought that I would just take you along and answer some of those questions as I prepare to get ready to wind down my evening. It's around, what time is it now? It's around 5:30 now. So I'm about to make myself some dinner, put on a movie, do all those things to prepare for the weekend. So throughout the evening, I will answer the kind of those questions that I wish I would have asked. But I can start with a couple now. I did type some up on my trusty piece of paper here. And the first question that I wish I had asked, or I wish I had known more about, was about preparing for perimenopause and menopause. I think I'm luckier than some of my friends as gone through this, that my perimenopause journey has not been terrible, but it has not been great. It has not been good. So I wish I had known more about it. And so the first question I wish I would have asked is, what actually happens to your body in perimenopause and how soon does it start? How I would have answered that question is, of course, that is different for everyone. And that I do think that it is worth having more upfront, honest conversations with your healthcare provider. I think when I was 40 or 45, I had gone to my general practitioner and I had said to her, a lot of my girlfriends are going through perimenopause. What do I need to do? How do I need to prepare? And she said, it's way too early to think about it. Don't worry about it. And this was a female doctor. And I wish I would have probably gone to my gynecologist and asked that question, because I would say that my perimenopause symptoms probably started at like 48. And I have really, really suffered from hot flashes and lack of sleep. Those are my two main things that I have really struggled with. And I think that when your sleep changes and you have hot flashes, that does lead to having more mood swings. I think it leads to anxiety. So the advice that I would give myself or anyone who asks me this question is to track your symptoms, get your hormones checked, and early help and advocate for yourself, because those are the things I didn't do. I just let my doctor just tell me I was too young, don't worry about it. And I didn't advocate for myself. And you always have to do that. So that would be how I would answer that one question. Is menopause just about hot flashes? And I would say no, not even close. There's all those other things. Like I said, sleep changes, brain fog. Like literally, I will walk from one room into another room and not even remember why I was walking into that room. It does impact work, because when you are with your job, you always have to be on your toes, and brain fog and forgetting people's names or forgetting what you need to do next. I have really trained myself to write everything down because I will forget from one moment to the next. So brain fog is definitely a symptom, and just make sure that you listen to your body. Your body will tell you what it needs if you listen and you're quiet with yourself and you reflect. But yeah, hot flashes, I've really struggled with them. I'm taking medication for it now, but there are so many other components. What should I have asked my doctor before menopause started? I wish when that doctor said that I was too young and not to worry about it, I should have talked about like preparing hormone options, going to my gynecologist, and how hormones would impact me or impact my body, my bones, my mental health, and not just wait for the symptoms to become unbearable, which I think at some points it did with the hot sweats, not being able to sleep, like all those things just really impact your everyday. And, I do have some girlfriends that are on hormone replacements and it's working great for them. That's not the journey that I want to go through right now, but it doesn't mean that I won't in the future. It's something I think about, but I think having those conversations with your doctor is key. So those are kind of the 3 questions that I wish I would have asked someone. But let's go downstairs and let's make some dinner and I'll answer some more questions.
Hi, I'm going to pick this up in the kitchen. And I had such a big lunch today that I'm not really hungry. I feel like I should eat something, but so this is in the area of wellness and fitness. So I think I would have asked, I have a lot of friends that are older than me that are really into health and wellness. I think what I would have asked them is, how should I approach weight gain? What are some things that I should do? Because as I hit 50, actually probably around 45-ish, I just could not keep the weight off. And I think that I would have really appreciated someone coming to me and saying, like, don't stress about it. Don't worry about it. Don't obsess over it, and get the help and support that you need. I think my issue had been trying to do it myself and not knowing what to do. So going to the gym all the time and getting on the machines, but not really knowing that you have to really be in a calorie deficit in order to lose weight. I'm sorry. This automatic trash is like the craziest thing. I have to always unplug it. Probably focus, and I'm not a nutritionist or a health expert, but I would say as a woman in her 50s or approaching 50, to really focus on strength training. I was so focused on cardio because that's how I had lost weight in my 20s and 30s, was just going hard with cardio. But that's just really not the same as you get older. And also not to focus on weight, but to focus on being healthy and eating the right things. And also, like, beyond fitness, just overall wellness and well-being, I probably would have asked myself, what does like wellness look like to you in your 50s? And I would say that for me, it is this journey that I'm on now of self-discovery and setting up boundaries and doing what feels right in my spirit and not making decisions based on what I think other people want. It's having a good foundation. And, I think that that's something that we need to really focus on, is not just the physical, but the mental. It's okay to go back to therapy. It's okay to you should be getting rest. You should be setting up boundaries, all those things. So one of the things, when I think about my channel overall, one of the things I really want to focus on and make sure that I bring to the attention is, how are we living our best life? So my next area of questions that I kind of wrote down were questions around self-image and kind of that soft life. And what does that mean as we're in midlife and we're hitting our 50s? So I would have liked to have asked someone, what does living a soft life mean in midlife? I know personally for me, it's a journey, but I would love to hear what others had to say. But as I reflect on it, I really think that it means it's not about, to me, a soft life does not mean anything around luxury. Me, is choosing peace over performance and not things being performative, like being true to who I am. I have gone through life really just trying to please others and living my life the way I thought it should be. Buying a whole bunch of handbags and luxuries and doing a whole bunch of shopping and buying a whole bunch of clothes and dressing a whole bunch of ways and having a big fancy car because that's what you're supposed to have when you're a female professional woman climbing those corporate ladders. Like, it's supposed to look a certain way. When you get your bonus check, the first thing to do is run to the mall and get yourself a designer handbag. That's what I thought a soft life meant in my 20s, 30s, and early 40s. But that's not what it really is. I think it's really about having peace, choosing yourself, being honest with yourself. It's about being true to who you are. The next question I would have asked is around career change. So the question was, what if I want to change careers or start something new? And I really think about my YouTube journey and why I'm doing this. And I really wish that I had reached out and established more mentors in this space. So that's what I would say, is just to make sure that you have a mentor that you could talk through and go through this journey. And it could be something not as simple, but something, yeah, maybe as simple as there's a lot of folks on YouTube that provide support and will review your channel and help you put things together and look at your strategy. I would say that's from a YouTube perspective. But I think with any sort of career change, I think it's really good to have guidance and support and someone who can mentor you along the way, I think is helpful. It's not necessary, but I would say that it's definitely helpful, especially if you're making a change within midlife. So another thing is around emotional growth. And I would say emotional growth slash self-discovery. And one of the questions that I wrote down is, how would you handle regrets and what ifs? And I started to think about, as we know, life is not perfect. We have our ups and downs. There's things that shoulda, woulda, coulda. But I think as I'm on this journey, I'm really discovering to give myself some grace. I am a human person. And yes, I may be a perfectionist, but I'm not perfect. And every detour, every change, everything has really been a lesson. And I needed those lessons and I needed those bumps in the road to be able to grow and discover. And they don't end. They keep happening. So whether that you're 40 or 50, there's still going to be regrets and what ifs. But give yourself some grace, reflect, ruminate, grow, journal, all those things so that you continue to grow and really flourish based on those experiences that you've had, even though they may not have been the best of experiences, but we are on this earth to learn. Then I have here, what is one mindset shift that changed everything after 50? I often joke that I had a midlife crisis once I hit 50, and it was a feeling like I was running out of time and I needed to do all these things. So I think would have been, if someone were to ask me that, it was to stop feeling like I'm running out of time. Yes, we're all on this earth for a short period of time, but it's never too late to do the things that you've always wanted to do. And that actually, I'm not running out of time. My last set of questions are around lifestyle and joy. It was interesting. I never really talked about this. Was what should I have known about marriage at midlife? I would have to say, if someone were to ask that, I wish I would have asked that question, but if someone would have asked me that, I would say, fine, my relationship now is, I am, how do I say this? I feel like I'm more content. I, I think sometimes when you're younger, you are looking like there always has to be maybe a drama within the relationship or feeling like I think sometimes you're always testing the relationship, but I feel very content. I feel calmer. I feel like it's deeper. My commitment, my ability to trust is definitely, it just feels so different. I honestly get it. Like the ideal situation is to be married in your 20s and 30s. But I think my ideal situation was to be married in my 50s. I don't think that I would be, I don't know if I would have been a great wife in my 20s or 30s, to be completely honest. Yeah, I'm going to say this on the internet. But I feel like I'm ready now. And I feel like he's ready now. And I think that's where we have the connection. So I would say, what should I have known is that it's the right time. I think it goes back to it's not always the time that you want it to be, but it's the time that God has for you. And to let that kind of flow through, and that we can't always control everything. And we just have to do it at God's time. And it's not always our time. It's when God feels that we're ready to do something, especially when it comes to love and relationships and commitment. Why does friendship change so much after 40? And I do think that some friendships are for a season. I think there's different types of friendships. I think there's seasonal friendships, friendships that are one point of your life, maybe friends that you had in your 20s or college, or friendships that you established at work when you were at a particular job and you've left that job and you were such good friends when you worked there. You haven't spoken to them in some time and you have childhood friends. And I think it's just being okay with knowing that there are different types of friendship. I think in my 20s and 30s, I just thought that there was just one type. There's a type that you have in your life, but understand that there are seasons. There are childhood friends and friends that come along. And I'm blessed that I have those long-term friends that I've had since childhood. But there are friends that I developed in my 20s or my 30s and 40s that are my friends still today, and I still am open to friendship. So just knowing that friendships are ever changing and that's okay. And that to be grateful when you do have really solid and amazing friends, because they are definitely hard to come by. I'm not sure what number I'm on because I'm just talking and I'm drinking my sparkling water and I'm eating hummus. So forgive me if I've lost track of where I am because I'm skipping around with these questions. And it's getting late. I think I want to get ready for bed. And I think I will cap it off by the question that I have here is, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned at 15? And just to keep it short and sweet, the biggest lesson I've learned is that I don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore. and that you just have to be real and honest with yourself and with others, and people will value and appreciate that. Coming as you are is easier said than done, but I feel like I have so much more confidence now as I've matured and that I've turned 50. Don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore. Period. All right. So those are some questions. First, thank you for watching. I hope you stayed to the end. If you did, please leave me a little heart. I would really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and give this a thumbs up and hit the notification bell so you're notified when more videos come your way. And I thank you again so much for watching, and you have a wonderful evening. I'm going to take my veggies, my hummus, and my sparkling water, and I'm going to get on the couch and watch a movie, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.